We Australians love our eggs, but what's Australia's most loved egg dish? We're going to find out as I take you around the globe with an even dozen of my favourite egg recipes. Today's recipe might well be the national dish of China, tomato fried eggs. This is how you make it. We start just with some tomatoes. Ripe tomatoes in season, of course, always best. And I'll just cut those into some fairly large wedges. In the Chinese kitchen, there's a few different types of cleavers you can have, and this is not a cleaver for chopping through bones, it's a slicer, I guess. Much thinner, you wouldn't want to chop into a chicken with this, but perfect for cutting vegetables. The thing that's great about this recipe is just how easy it is to put together. The tomatoes in the wok get seasoned really, really simply, just some salt and some sugar, but I add something a little bit extra, some good old Dead Horse tomato sauce that I think adds just that extra little bit of sweetness to balance out the tomatoes. I'll also add some spring onions. Just cut these into about 5 centimetre lengths or so. If you want to know how to measure things in the kitchen without breaking out the ruler every single time, it's actually pretty useful to know the lengths of a few things that you have always right in front of you. For example, I know that from the tip of this finger to just above the second knuckle here is 5 centimetres, so if I cut my spring onion that length, I never have to break out the ruler. Now for my eggs. It's a really economical dish as well. Tomatoes, eggs, a bit of salt and sugar, all you need. 5 eggs for this dish. I'll just give these a little whisk together. Now the rest of this happens over by the wok, and this is actually a really good dish for learning some basic wok technique. So let me show you how it's done. Now, always with a wok, you start with a hot wok and cold oil. Not necessarily cold, but room temperature anyway. The oil gets added around the edges of the wok so it runs down into the center. One of the big misconceptions with wok cooking is that everything kind of gets thrown into the wok at once, and nothing could be further from the truth. Quite often, things are cooked separately in the wok, in succession, and then combined at the end, and that's exactly how this dish is made. I'll start with the tomatoes. My seasonings, the salt, sugar, and tomato sauce. And I'll start to break the tomatoes up as well. This is a really important part of wok cooking because essentially a lot of the ingredients you cook will create their own sauce or their own juices, and that's what the tomatoes are doing here. You can see them breaking down and creating a lovely kind of sauce in the base of the wok. I'll add in my spring onions now. And as those soften, to thicken everything and bring it together, I'll just add a bit of this corn flour mixed with some cold water. That's the consistency I want, so this can come out of the wok when we get ready for the eggs. I'll give the wok a quick rinse, get it back on the heat, and then when it's dry and hot, add some more oil. Now for the eggs. I just want to keep moving the eggs kind of slowly in the pan, get them to almost a bit like scrambled eggs here, just making sure that they're cooking kind of gently because I don't want them to be too hard or too firm. Now in with tomato mixture. And that is it. Let's put it on a plate. Super simple, super delicious, and perfect with a bowl of steamed rice. Tomato fried eggs. Give the recipe a try for yourself, you absolutely will not regret it. And don't forget to vote for your favourite egg dish.